I'm so sorry. I'm not what you thought I was. And I can never be the thing you wishing that I was. I like what I like. Do something about it. Why you worried about who I love? Why you worried about who I fuck? Making them feeling so wrong when it feels right. Tell me I am wrong for living my life. They think they know it all, but they don't know it all. Making them feeling so wrong when it feels right. Do what I want, cause I'm living my life. I can have it all. You know I want it all. I'm just a young black girl from Africa. And this is who I am. Take me for who I am. I'm just a young black girl from Africa. And this is who I am. Take me for who I am. Cause I'm chasing the rainbow.
Underdog 60 in the building. Welcome back. It's been a long time coming. Let's just run through the topics real quick before we dive in. We're going to be talking a little bit about Deshaun Watson today, Joe Burrow, NFL Week 11 preview. I am excited. Bears versus Lions, Shedeur Sanders, Draymond Green, Minnesota Timberwolves, and if we have time, James Harden. Let's go. Underdog 60 in the building.
I like that. I like that. How we need to do that. Spit the topics real quick. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Appreciate it. I thought of it as I was like, man, I be seeing Stephen A do this shit. Let me incorporate a little bit.
Right.
So let's get right in there, man. Been a long time, brother. Just want to say appreciate you. I know we haven't been able to meet over the week. Life has been lifing for all of us.
Ooh, boy.
Adulting is not easy, but I'm grateful for having you back on the pod, man. For a while, I thought I was going to have to do an episode solo, talking to the computer screen, I'm happy to see
you. We acknowledge the trials and tribulations of Black men in this country. It's tough out here, man. And every day can be a struggle.
Yes, sir.
Not to minimize other people's plights, but we don't do that. It's just been tough, but we back. We doing what we need to do. And I think we can get this rolling and go into the new year, back on it. So let's get it popping.
Yes, sir. So let's jump right in. Deshaun Watson injured, man. It's like the Browns can't get enough.
I feel first and foremost, we'll get to the reason why it's scandalous and ironic. But the part that I feel the worst for is for the people of Cleveland. That contract was $230 million guaranteed.
Oh, it was guaranteed. See, I was wondering.
Yeah.
A lot of the NFL contracts are like, if you get injured, you don't get money. So I'm surprised by that. In the recent years, it was always like that. Like once you got injured, you didn't get the bread.
Well, it was fully guaranteed, and at that point, he hadn't won a game in like years. You know what I'm saying? Or had only won 4 games in like 3 years. So, bad move by them. Management or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Good luck to them the rest of the way. But Brown's going brown, bro. And then I think it was an ugly game. Pick 6 off a rip. First pass of the game was a pick 6, and then I think they said he had a broken bone in his throwing shoulder or something like that. So, and then his ankle, and then he tweaked his ankle in the game too. That didn't look good. So I think he was probably a little bit banged up. But I'm not sure what that does to the Browns' Super Bowl chances, but I'm sure it dropped. I personally thought that they had probably first or second best defense in the league right now. Top 3, probably Ravens, Browns, Chiefs right now. Had a good defense, had a good running game. They lost Nick Chubb already. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of crazy. Sucks for them. But they the ops, so not too upset. Just sucks for the fans, though, because it's a lot of money. A lot to invest in was supposed to be a franchise quarterback, supposed to be a franchise-changing quarterback. So,
yeah. I am disappointed for them too. I was kind of looking forward to seeing him bounce back, especially after being suspended for as many games as he was. I was hoping to just see, a new chapter, see if he could take that team to another level, see if he could accomplish something that old boy that was there before, I can't even think of his name right now.
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Mayfield couldn't accomplish, or before that, the Mr. Money guy, like that.
Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, man, that franchise has gone through some premier quarterbacks that should have made some noise, man. And I just hope that this injury is not career ending.
Nah, it's definitely season ending, but I don't think it's career ending. It didn't look that severe, or you know what I'm saying? That's not the kind of stuff takes you out forever.
I hope not. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. My baby girl is crying in the background. I apologize. Like I said, life be lifing. Bear with me. I'll see if I can.
Babies always get a pass, bro. Always. Speaking of injured quarterbacks, if you want to, we can go ahead and reset this clock. I know we started it late. We could reset it to 5 minutes and talk about good old Joseph.
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
Joe Burrow, man, just came out that it turns out he has a torn tendon in his wrist on his throwing hand, and he's going to be out for the season. And he just got paid too. I think it was 5-year extension, $275 million.
Mm-hmm. Damn, was that guaranteed as well?
Nah, it wasn't fully guaranteed, but
it must be the internet. Your voice is really shuffled.
It's a brand new contract. You know what I mean? And
you there, Drew? You kind of went.
Hold on.
You went into robot voice for a second. Okay. I'll just start talking about what I read thus far. Just feel free to jump in once your internet comes back, Drew. But basically, it seems like the league is going to be investigating how the Bengals handled this injury. Not really sure what happened. Maybe they shouldn't have let him play, or maybe something happened along those lines. But it seems that they didn't follow some type of protocol. Because to me, if the NFL is investigating how you handle a player's injury, something shady is going on there. So maybe they try to force him to play, but I don't know if you heard anything.
I heard that. Yeah, I definitely heard that. I heard that they were thinking about taking a draft pick. This is some of the stuff that like the Patriots used to do back in the day. Probably still do. They're the number one injury report finesse team of all time. There was a video apparently that surfaced with him having some type of like brace on his hand, and apparently the Bengals deleted the video.
Damn.
And then didn't put him on the report. So that's why they're like, hey, what's going on? Now, you know how it is with the franchise quarterbacks. Pat Mahomes done played hurt. I mean, Phillip Rivers played a playoff game with a torn ACL. Tom Brady apparently played that whole Buck season with a torn MCL. You know what I mean? Players play hurt. But for me, after the calf injury, week 1, like he already had the calf injury.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you should have held them out the first 3 games off of that. But no, they want to win. The desire to win, I think, outweighed the risk mitigation process.
It's crazy how it does for a lot of teams. Like even in college, they do that stuff. I remember Tony Temple got them injections in his ankle. Came out hurt, played the rest of the game. I'm just like, this shit is crazy, man, what they make these players go through. And where is Tony Temple today? But anyway.
Right.
Like
shout out to you if you're doing good, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not wishing bad on you. Let me rephrase.
You out there, Tony Temple.
It's just the fact that these programs, these organizations, at the end of the day, you just another number, man. And I hate to see that. It's evident. If that's what they did to Joe Burrow, how many other players are they doing it to?
And it's like I said, to me, And what now they're like 5-5 on the season. They've already lost 3 games in their division. They already, to me, it was one of those things to where it's like if you'd have just did this from the jump, you wouldn't be in this position. And now you literally have a complete lost season because of it. Now they've got to sign Chase in the offseason. But if I'm them, I would do the same thing that got me Chase in the first place. I would just try to lose as many games as I can and try to get a good pick. You know what I mean? Because then now you got
Sounds
Joe
like
Burrow,
it's having
Jamar
a
Chase.
tank.
Yeah, but then they're gonna get investigated for that. So, but I would take the draft pick and just try to keep it pushing because they're gonna lose T. Higgins for nothing because they waited until after the trade deadline. They're
Hmm.
probably gonna lose. They're probably gonna lose Tyler Boyd. The Rams are supposedly interested in him, and this was supposed to be the year. Remember, this
Yeah.
was supposed to be the year that it was like, oh no, the Bengals gonna get back and do this and do that, and it's like, all right, well,
Whatever happened to
now,
their other quarterback? I don't want to call him the redhead dude, but what happened to this?
Andy Dalton.
Yeah.
He was on the I think he's on the Panthers now. He was on the Cowboys. He was on the Bears, and now he's on the Panthers.
They need to bring him back, man. He was making some moves. That
My
system.
thing is, I agree, but shout out to Marvin Lewis.
Is Bruce Arians still the coach, or was that a long time
Nah,
ago?
Bruce Arians was the coach of the Bucks for that Super Bowl and is now the general manager of the Bucks. No, not the general manager. He's the director of operations or whatever.
I got all my personnel all mixed up.
Nah, bro. The personnel move more than the players these days.
Yeah, man. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic. Our timer is up for that. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to see this week. NFL Week 11 preview. The game that sticks out the most to me is Bears Lions, just because I'm a Chicago fan. But we can talk about everybody. Let me just pull them up a little bit.
We'll talk about my game last because it's literally Monday night. And
Your voice is shaky again, bro. It's going real slow motion.
About my game.
Your voice was just going real slow motion. I couldn't make out what you were saying.
Can you hear me now?
It's better now. Yeah.
Okay. That's because I try to get on ESPN. So you tell me what the games. I tried to open that app. That shit was not having it.
And everything goes by the megabyte or gigabyte when you're in Africa, man. Shout out to South Africa.
You already know.
So they got obviously the Bengals Ravens game already happened, but we got Steelers Browns tomorrow. We got Raiders Dolphins, Bears Lions, Titans Jaguars, Chargers Packers, Cardinals Texans, Cowboys Panthers, Giants Commanders, Buccaneers 49ers, Jets Bills, Seahawks Rams, Vikings Broncos, Eagles and ooh, that Monday night game going to be lit, boy. Okay, I'm liking that.
I think the Steelers Browns game is really important because I'm pretty sure the Steelers are in first place.
Man, your internet over there. I hate to talk about Africa like this.
The Ravens might be now, but the Steelers.
Your voice went out again, man. It's going.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, not really. Not yet.
Well, I think the Steelers Browns is important. You hear that?
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
I think Steelers Browns is important just because Browns is down, Steelers is up. Steelers could mess around and win the division just because everybody banged up. Ravens, Browns, Bengals, they all banged up. So Mike Tomlin, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he's gonna somehow pull it off. Minka's got to come back, but I feel like they're good. Chargers, Packers, that's a big one. Jags, Titans, because the Jags got to, stay up. Bears, Lions, another huge game. If the Lions can win, they stay on pace. Who do the Cowboys play?
The Cowboys play the Panthers.
That's a good game, too. That'll be a good game. because the Panthers' D is a little bit better than people think, and their offense isn't as bad as people think either. So I feel like that's one of those games where it's going to be close because we didn't expect it, or it's just going to be a fucking blowout.
Okay. Well, I hope
Now,
I
Chiefs.
I hope I dominate on fantasy this week. I did get my butt whipped last week, but it's okay. I'm learning. You know, as Yahoo Fantasy told me, Catalyst, you can't win them all. You know, I felt good. I was like, okay, so you see, I've been winning all these games too.
Yeah, for fantasy purposes, I think I got to get 2 more wins to get in the playoffs in Rillo. So I'm trying to get my dub this. Got to get it.
You know, I've never had to root for a player not to get back in the game before in my life. But I was watching the play and the dude fumbled, and I was like, Jay Cook, I was like, don't put it back in. Don't put it back in. Don't put it back in. And sure enough, they put it back in later, but that was a determining factor. I'm like, he fumbled already. First play of the game. Sit him out the rest of the game. Don't let him play again.
Don't let him play. Don't let him do it.
So I'm learning a little bit, man. You know.
Beyond that, obviously the big game of the week is gonna be Monday Night Football, Super Bowl 57 rematch at Arrowhead. We've had Colin Cowherd come out and say that we're gonna get mollywopped 34-6. We've had we've had some crazy predictions, but I think we're favored by 2.5, which means it'll be a pick 'em in a neutral site. So I'll just pick what happened in the Super Bowl, like us by one score or less.
I'm going Eagles,
7.
man. Fly, Eagles, fly.
We're gonna shoot y'all. Hey, we're gonna shoot y'all out the sky.
You know, Jalen is a little bit hurt, but like you said, all quarterbacks play hurt. He's gonna be just fine. I got him starting in fantasy this week. I don't give a damn what the injury report says. He's playing. You know what I'm saying? So it should be a good game, man. And with that said, you know, let's talk about a little bit of college football. Another injury to report. I saw this as I was preparing for the pod, and I just thought, man, this is kind of sad. I hope that the Colorado, what's their
Buffalo.
Buffaloes. I hope they can bounce back from this. But apparently he was knocked out of the football game against Washington State. And he was injured, and I think they ended up losing that game pretty badly. They lost. I don't have the final score in front of me. I think it was 52-14 or something crazy like that. I hope they can still. I mean, the season is damn near over. But I just hope he recovers fully and it doesn't affect his draft. And I hope he ends up becoming the type of football player that he's been showing us that he can be in the future. I didn't see the full injury.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's surprisingly, in my opinion, I mean, I guess I shouldn't expect anything less of Deion's offspring, but he's a surprisingly skilled quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I like him. I don't think we should draft him or anything, but I think he'll go to some team that needs a quarterback.
Yeah. So
Sure.
I just wanted to touch on it. I'm sure people will be talking about it, all week. If not, at least the college folks will be.
Right. Paul Feinbaum and him.
Yeah.
Oh, your favorite subject.
Yeah, to the topic we've been dying to talk about. But before we do, since we're going to be talking about Draymond Green, I figured we might as well share some
green.
Yeah, we got to share some green with y'all before we get to the Draymond Green topic. Oh, I'm trying to get my keyboard right.
You good? Part-time producer of the show.
Gold Standard Farms, 1941, Martin, Tennessee. And they want you to know that they are a boutique hemp farm specializing in organic hemp cultivation, seed genetics, R&D, and eco-friendly hemp-based material. For more information, please email KARSON@goldstandardfarms.com. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, Carson. We love you, bro.
And yes, we love you, Carson. He will be on the episode after Thanksgiving. He's confirmed Wednesday through Friday. He's free. We're gonna make that happen.
Hell yeah.
Bring him back so we can talk about how terrible the Grizzlies been doing. But back to the regularly scheduled programming. Draymond Green, the main attraction. My response has gotten over 500 plays. I didn't think a video that short would get that many plays, but it just showed you that people value when I talk about real facts. And as I was telling Dane this morning. Well, let me start the timer so we don't go on forever on this. As I was telling Dane this morning, I said, brother, I remember we was at that fraternity house and I saw them about to jump you. What did I do? I threw a stone to break it up because that's what brothers do. When they see their brother in trouble, they jump in to come to their defense. And that's what he did. Now, was it too much? Of course. Was it excessive? Yes. But that's Draymond. What did he do? He picked on the biggest person on the court to send a message. You mess with one of mine, you mess with me, and I'm going to drag you out the court. I got the game. Pause. Let me say that again. Warriors have the game in a chokehold, regardless what happens in this regular season. Come playoff time, we're going to handle business. Let Steve Kerr say what he want to say. He knows that man did the right thing. They damn near ripped his jersey off. Like, what you expect to do? Just stand around and play kumbaya and say, oh, it's all right, fellas, let's not fight. Nah. Put them in a chokehold so they know not to mess with us next time. They was trying to come in there and send a message. We beat y'all the other night. We gonna rip Klay Thompson jersey. Ain't nothing y'all could do about it. And he made a statement, man. I applaud Draymond. You don't deserve to be suspended. Not even one game. Especially when you look at what Robert Horry did to Steve Nash years ago in the playoffs. It's funny to me how the NBA is so, oh man, we have to clean up the league and we can't do this. But everybody's watching now. But back in the day, this man, Robert Horry, hit check the dude with his hand into the stands. Steve Nash came back with a bloody nose. And I don't even think he got a foul for that. I don't even think he got a suspension. It wasn't even discussed. Straight up snatched the souls of the Phoenix Suns, even though they were dominating in that playoff game. And guess what? That physicality was rewarded. The Spurs went on to win the championship. I say all that to say this. Physicality is often rewarded by the NBA. So how dare they try to punish my brother this time? The floor is yours.
Wow. That was an amazingly powerful and prolific statement. I appreciate you, Brother Bolahan. But I must call you out about these. First off, I remember that play. I know what you're talking about, Robert Horry and Steve Nose, a busted nose and shit. That was a different league back then. You have now changed the league to benefit your other brothers, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. Can't nobody put their hands on them little soft boys. You know what I'm saying? Can't nobody do nothing to them. So they're protected now in gameplay. And I remember in high school when I was typing my English paper, watching the Pistons-Pacers game at Auburn Hills. And all of a sudden, I see Ron Artest, Steven Jackson, Jermaine O'Neal is out here having a Royal Rumble with the fans. So how long until it could escalate to something like that? I don't think that it's necessary to drag an entire person across the court, dragging a whole 7-foot French dude across the court, because at the end of the day, everybody's on camera. Like, it's not like we're at the rec. It's not like we're at the Rucker. Like, this is televised professional sports. Professional sports, not amateur, not college. So to me, I understand the physicality of the sport. I love basketball. It's one of my favorite to play. But that level of, you know what I'm saying? This ain't WWE, an actual chokehold. You know what I'm saying? This is not mixed martial arts. There's no reason to choke somebody. Push them, fight them, strikes. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a trip, but you're trying to stop him from breathing. that's a little bit different than you ripped his shirt, stop breathing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. So he got a suspension. He's out $770,000. If he thinks it's worth it, that's cool. But in my world and in my mind, in my profession, there's nothing somebody can do that can cost me almost $1 million and sit up here and act like it's okay.
I have to disagree with you. And well, the first part is you said this is years ago. 6 years ago, during a playoff series, LeBron James pushed the shit out of Steph Curry. He called to guard him, and I forget what the play was. I'm gonna try to find a video before this episode is over so you can see that this is not this used to happen back in the day. It don't happen like that no more.
No, it happens more often than not. I was just saying the Robert Horry thing. That's like 06 or some shit. You know what I mean?
All right, I'll give you that. I'm just saying the word.
That's like freshman year of college. Yes.
The league does reward physicality when it comes to playoffs. They let them play more, and I just think they got to be consistent, man. And if the Warriors are gonna stay as small as they are, and these big teams are trying to bully them, then yes, I will continue to applaud Draymond for doing what he did. And on your second point that the man couldn't breathe, he was like, bro.
Because it's like,
if you got place to do all this,
he's French.
There's a little bit of acting going on.
He's French.
That's what you like, bro. He's like, bro,
because he's like, I didn't know we was wrestling.
He couldn't believe it. So the man was not joking. But I hear
what
you.
I'm saying.
It was very dramatized, but it's okay though.
Because the other thing is he's not very smart. It's very hard to choke a 7'2" dude when you're only 6'8". He can just stand up. So it's not exactly the best idea either. So.
Yeah, he definitely stole the shit out of it. I'll give him that much.
Yeah.
Since the topic,
it's funny.
Since the topic is over, I'm not going to say nothing more about it. We'll wait for Dane to come back, hopefully next week to give his 2 cents.
We can revisit this with Carson and Dane. Let's do that.
Yes. But my underdog for so far for the NBA season is the Minnesota Timberwolves. Man, they're just dominating. They're using their height to their advantage. They came into San Francisco and whooped the shit out of the Warriors. So anybody who does that with their chest out, even though their players also got ejected, still did their thing. Watch out for them, man. Like, is it Anthony Edwards? I'd be forgetting the guy's name, man.
Anthony Edwards, bro. He's a problem.
He's nothing to be like. Every time he had the ball and they needed a bucket, it was going in. Like, he's going to be a problem for a long time. So,
he's a problem.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to see what they do in the playoffs. Like, this is all good regular season. Can you do it in the playoffs? Or all these little sideline people going to choke? And I like the fact that the CAT, whatever his acronym is CAT. I like the fact that he doesn't have to play center. Like
that's why it's working.
That's why it's working so well. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of reminiscent of what the Lakers did with Anthony Davis. And when they moved him to the 4 and when they had Dwight Howard and all of them, JaVale McGee, and they won that championship. So I think they definitely have the formula for something great. And I just kind of wanted to showcase them, give them their props before anybody else does. The Timberwolves are coming, man. Shout out to the Wolfpack.
And it'll be tough coming out the West or whatever, but like I said, they have what they need to get it done, and they've been doing good the past couple of years. The fan base is now back behind them and everything, so they really are going to be something. And Anthony Edwards, bro, he's like becoming a problem, like a real, yeah. So good luck to them.
Yes, sir. Last but not least, James Harden finally gets his first victory as a Clippers. So I was trying to find a video where it said, I think the trio or quadruple. They scored 70-something points. But then I saw a video where Kawhi Leonard was praising Russell Westbrook for coming off the bench. And I was like, it makes sense. One of your star players decides to come off the bench. Obviously, the cohesion is going to be better. So I'm just shout out to James Harden, man. He's gone through so much already, being promised, taking less money, starting a career again for like the 14. Hope it works out. I don't think the Clippers will really make any noise. What usually happens in the postseason is one of these star players is hurt or enamored, and they don't ever play to their full potential. But we'll see what happens, man.
My favorite person in the equation isn't even the four players. If you can't get these guys together, please go to another team. You are an excellent coach. You're one of my favorite coaches in the NBA, a Missouri native, a brother of the Light Skin Alliance.
You know what they said about him, though? He was trying to leave, and they blocked him from leaving.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, yeah, because he's an excellent coach. He's probably the best adjustment coach aside from Popovich. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens, man.
Problem is, did you see that they were trying to use Paul George and Kawhi Leonard to guard Jokic late?
No, I did not see that. How'd that work out for them?
Not very good. And then they literally zoomed in on Zubac on the sideline. He's like,
he's like, they're not tough enough, man. Put me in, coach.
Yeah. So he's gonna have to make some more adjustments. I understand it's hard with four superstars, but I think Russell off the bench, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. Let him lead the second unit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it could work, but y'all gotta play Zubac. Like Jokic has showed us, even though we all play small ball now, if you don't have that one big dude on your team, you're not gonna make it.
Yeah.
So even if you play small ball, you gotta have that 1 7-footer just so that you can match up with them. Because otherwise the Nuggets are just gonna keep doing
it. Okay. Trade deadline coming up soon, February sometime. Stephen Davis, we need a big man. And with that said, we'll wrap up the show. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, shout out to my brother in South Africa, Cape Town. Come back home safely, journey mercies. We're all thankful for our supporters. Continue to subscribe, listen, tune in, comment, hit the button that below, and tune into my girl Tenny as she sings her song.